Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Roi Et Province. This is a rural part of the world right over here. There's a lot of cows, a lot of buffaloes that you'll see out here grazing, rice paddies everywhere. But what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at an Arogyasala, the hospital temples. It was built under the reign of King Jayavarman VII. This one here, they found an inscription that dates it to 1186. So we'll walk through here. It'll be not too big. These hospital temples are pretty small. So let's look at it, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I know, and let's enjoy it. You can see a farmhouse over here and a little road that just kind of winds out through. There is a settlement over here, and there's another Khmer ruin, and then there's a couple more to the south that hopefully I can get a chance to get over here and see one of these days. But this is definitely a hospital temple. You see here, there's the rectangular pond, and then over there is the ruin itself. Now the hospital temples were built by the order of Jayavarman VII to fight disease. I think they had a serious issue with leprosy at the time, and so they were trying to find ways to cure that. So here's the outer wall, and then it has the central tower, and then it looks like the library over there. And we got a cow running over there. So the outer wall, you see they carved it out of the laterite, and then they put kind of a triangular piece on the very top. That's these right over here. It wasn't quite a triangle because it was kind of curved, but it was flatter on the bottom and wider. Oh, we have a data plate over there even. And if you look at this area from Google Maps, you can see two large rectangular water storage places. So I don't know, they look man-made to me. There's nothing really rectangular in nature. And that's what the Khmer did when they had a community here. And take a look at this right here. Wow. And we got the locals tooling on by here on a motorcycle. Now look at the carving right there. So this is the Bayon style. In the 12th, 13th century, that was the styling that they did. And wow, this is a low door to get in here. So you have the pedestal for the deity right there. There would have probably been one of the hospital Buddha images here, and that figure with 4 arms. Jayavarman VII, after he became king, the Angkor was sacked, and he took over and drove the invaders out. And he saw Hinduism as failing the Khmer. So he embraced Buddhism, and so he put Buddhism into all of these hospital temples and all the other stuff that he built. And then there was a resurgence under like Jayavarman VIII, where they tried to install Hinduism again, but it didn't take hold. They disfigured a bunch of the Buddha images and stuff like that in Angkor, but all of these here were outside of that. So check that out. You can see those little lotus buds up there. And then the false doors, the sandstone here. So the locals come over here and they leave these little flowers. So this one here is mostly uncarved also. And you see where they kind of scratched at it. But they did somewhat carve this. They got the shape, but they didn't do the fine detail work in it. It might have been abandoned before it could be finished. And there is a few things from here in the Roi Et National Museum. So this would have been where that hospital Buddha would have been in here. And it's missing the top, obviously. And it had a sandstone, like lotus flower, up on the top of it. And I don't see that anywhere. It might be out here on site. And this was all part of the base. This would have been a crucifix in front of that. And then the hospital temple over here. Looks like it's just laterite and pretty much uncarved also. But the walls are in shape. I do see some stones out there. Okay, so here we go. This is the lotus flower. And this would have been at the top of this center tower. Doesn't look like they finished carving all of it, but it's mostly intact. So this would have been hoisted way up there, and then they would have done the final detail work with some scaffolding and stuff. But check that out. So you can see the faux door here on the west, the laterite base, and the whole wall. Yeah, so there's quite a bit here that's still remaining. I mean, it's missing all the little details and stuff, but you get a good idea of what this looked like when it was in use. And then the library, these are also uncarved. It looks like the Fine Arts Department has restored it. You can see all of these here are numbered. So they came in here and restored what you see. And these bricks were not here. This would have been a sandstone pedestal. That might be in the museum or something like that. It's hard to say where it is. Oh, and there is a lintel on the backside of the gopura. So you can see the yala, and the rest of it's mostly uncarved, it looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's go over there and let's take a look at those stones now. So this would have been covered. This would have had kind of a corbelled arch. There would have been a pediment on the front that would have been up above the lintel. Yeah, so they have a huge pile of laterite stones over here and a few sandstones. And then there would have been wooden buildings around here. For the people in the community, they only built the religious structures out of stone. That's why they're here. So all the houses and everything that were here are gone. So all the locals would have been here, you know, growing rice. That's just, the people that you see here right now, they wouldn't have been much different for the people that were living here, their existence. The only thing that's different is, you know, they have motorcycles and cars and tractors and stuff like that. But they would have had the buffalo in here, elephants, and they would have just been growing rice. So they have quite a few of the sandstone pieces over here. So those are the bases for the deities. And then this looks like maybe the feet of a carved, it would have been a standing image. And it's hard to say what some of the other ones are, just various pieces. And then some more of the laterite stones. So this would have made up all the gopura and those other towers. Now they're just sitting over here, letting the trees grow on them. And the wall's missing here. So we can take another look at the tower, and then we can see where they carved the laterite stone. The laterite was easy for them to quarry and also to sculpt, so you see a lot of it. Now the hospital temples in Angkor were made out of sandstone, but out here in the provinces, the main building material was the laterite. But they did use some of the sandstone, as you can see. It was just a little harder to quarry and all of that. So that's cool. That's the whole site, and it's just kind of nestled over here in the rural area here. You got cows over there in their little barn and all of that. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at this hospital temple. This was a great little find. It was fun to see this. It's the typical layout of the hospital temple, as you can see, with the main structure and then the library, and has a little pond out here. So the hospital temples were usually put in kind of an important settlement, so this would have been important to them. And they have this and another ruin that's over not too far away from here that's got 4 towers in it. So it was a pretty important area that, you know, now it's just a rural backwater here in Thailand, but it does have a little bit of history for the region. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you get to see more content like this. And if you've been here, have any questions or comments, or if you want me to see anything, let me know also, and I'll do my best. If you want to see something in a video, I'll go try to check it out if I can. And until next time, from over here in Roi Et, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.